Welcome back to the channel, everybody. I'm Chris, Link's in school, and today we're going to put this on this. Yeah, so here at Chris and Link, me and Link, we love our Milwaukee products. Milwaukee Packout on the sleds. It's been working awesome on the Boost, and we wanted to put something on the new Axis. We were going to put on the Assault, but we got the Axis sled. Anyway, I've got a whole bunch of these Packouts, and the storage on this one's not great. So we're going to put this on there. Let me show you the brackets that we got for it, though. Well, look at this, everyone. Here is this aluminum Packout bracket that I got from a company called Minijet.ca. So they're based out of Ontario, Canada. It took a while to get. Like they didn't say that they were back ordered on the website, but they did back order. They were back ordered. Anyway, this one here, as compared to the one I have on the Boost, the one that's on the Boost came from a company called JDS Customs, and it's pretty nice. It already came powder coated, but it is not as thick as this. Now, with JDS being an American company, customs, duty, exchange rate, shipping, blah, blah, blah. The one on the Boost over there cost me almost $300. This one, I got two of them because I got one for my buddy, cost 65 Canadian and only $30 shipping. So that's pretty good. It's a very quality piece. It's nice and thick. I don't know what thickness that is. I want to say at least 1/8 of an inch, maybe even 3/16. It's all bent very well. I really like it. It fits on the bottom of the Packout a lot tighter than the one on the Boost because I think this is thicker material, so that's good. And then, yeah, we're just going to drill and mount the holes for the T-slots on the axis here. Now, I wish that I would have known the measurements before I ordered, because from this edge to this edge, it's like 12 and a half, no, 13 inches, I believe. We'll confirm. And the T-slots on the axis, where it's going to mount, right here, T-slot to T-slot, I believe is 12 and a half. So it doesn't give us a lot of room. But hey, you know what? We'll make it work. The other thing here, let's just quickly bring this over here, kind of show you guys. It's going to mount. I know this isn't quite perfect, but just for now. It's going to mount kind of on here, like so. And you can kind of see, like, it's really close. I mean, I got some my final adjustments to make, but it's really close. And of course, this tunnel for the wiring that comes to the taillight kind of gets in the way. So I got to drill some holes. We're going to powder coat it. We're going to build some spacers to go underneath, get some bolts, and lock it down. So next, let's measure up and drill some holes. Okay, so to mount our Milwaukee Packout bracket, we've got the Milwaukee ink saw and the Milwaukee measuring tape, because, like, what the heck, man, we love this stuff. Anyway, all right, so if we measure from edge to edge, yeah, we got it's like 12 and a half inches. So center to center on the T slot here is 12 and a half inches. Oh, speaking of T slot, in case you guys don't know how these work, we just use a carriage bolt like this. I hope that's in the camera, in the frame. Carriage bolt like this, 1/4 inch, and they slide in here like this, and they lock in. So this one's too long. I got to get some shorter ones, and we'll use some washers and nylocks and stuff. But anyway, that's how that works. Yeah, so we'll put this here, and like I said, we got, I'll show, we got to turn that around so you guys can see. So if I push it tight on this edge, and then this edge, it gives me 12 and a half, or you pull 12 and a half. So center to center, we'll call it 12 and a half. And then, of course, this bracket, like I said, was 13. So I'm going to measure and then center punch and drill, and we'll try and get it as close as we can and go from there. So follow along. Well, look at that. She fits. Got our holes drilled and all 4 bolts line up perfect. I know it looks like there's not a lot of meat here on the side, but I think it'll be okay because, I mean, it'll hold it from kind of the insides as well, so it's not going to go anywhere. We got to build some spacers for underneath because of the wiring tunnel. We got to get some shorter bolts. But now we're going to go on to powder coating. I don't know if you guys know this, but I do all my own powder coating here. So we'll quickly show you how to do that. You guys may have seen this thing kicking around in the background. It's just this little spray booth that I kind of built. It's turned into a catch-all for now. But anyway, I did have a fan up there with a filter. And I've got a metal rod, some lights, and of course I've got my powder coating gun with the controller here. Got a shelf for powders and stuff. It's kind of like a little spray booth that I kind of built for doing stuff in the shop, but we don't really use it. It kind of gets in the way, so I don't know what we're going to do with it yet. I was thinking maybe we make a cool video of burning it. I'm not sure. Anyway, so number one key thing to remember when you're powder coating is it's kind of like auto body work. It's cleanliness. So we got to make sure that this thing is super clean and not has any contaminants on it for the powder to stick. If you're not familiar with powder coating, it's like a plastic coating that it comes out in a dry powder that's electrostatically charged, so it attracts to you the piece of metal that you're working with, and then you put it in the oven and you bake it on it. Basically melts on there, and it's very hard and durable. So that's what we're going to do with our bracket. I think we're going to do ours in satin black, and then for my buddy James, he gets gloss black. So follow along. I'm going to set these up with my oven, and I don't know, I'll show you how to powder coat. All right, guys, you can see that I got it mounted up. This weird contraption I got going on here where I've got it kind of hanging from the oven rack to bake in my oven. And now I've got some brake cleaner. You want to use non-chlorinated, because if you use chlorinated, it can release chlorine gas when you're baking in the oven. So we're going to give this a good soak and really clean this thing up. Get all the oils and greases off of it. I've tried different methods of trying to clean these parts and everything, and I found that the brake cleaner seems to work kind of the best. You can wipe it down if you want, but we'll just let this air dry. Or I might actually try to gently blow it off with the blowgun. There we go. Being very gentle because I don't want to kick up a bunch of dust from underneath on the floor. But we got to make sure we get all the drips and drops in. You can actually pre-bake parts in the oven if you want, and that helps to get rid of and burn off any oils and greases and stuff. Let's get ready to powder coat. Gloss black, here we go. Well, that's just fucking awesome. Okay, well, after that disaster, I re-cleaned the part. Here's the button. You got to push the button. Here's the ground cable. Here's the powder coating gun. So let's get after it here. Okay guys, so we got the powder all done on this first bracket. It looks really good. So we're gonna slap her in the oven right now. Like I said, at 400 degrees. Here we go. There we go. That goes in there at 450, not 400, 450 degrees till we see it flow out. That's where that powdered kind of flat finish turns smooth. And when it does that, we know that it's good. We turn it down to 400 degrees and bake for 20 minutes. So we'll be back when it's all done. Well, there you have it, guys. The brackets are powder coated. This one here in the foreground, that one we just pulled out of the oven. So she's like 400 degrees right now. We got to let that cool before we can touch it. But this one turned out phenomenal. This thing is just beautiful. Nice gloss finish on there. James is going to be happy with how that turned out. He's going to mount this up on his old Assault. So we'll get this packaged up. I'll bring that to him later. Next up, we got to build some spacers and grab some bolts, and then we'll get this sucker installed. Easy peasy. Okay, so next up, we're gonna use some puck board and we're gonna make some spacers. So I got 1.25 inch hole saw here, so it'll be like 1 1/8, maybe 1 inch on the inside, and then it's got a 1/4 inch bit in there, so that's gonna be our pilot hole. So we're gonna make probably 8 of these, maybe more, I don't know, and we'll see if we need to stack them or not on the sled. So here we go. Okay, powder coat turned out awesome. We got a bunch of bolts and some spacers and washers and yada yada. Let's mount this sucker, see how she's going to fit and how it's going to look. There you have it, guys. Moment of truth. Let's see how the Packout fits. Sick. That thing looks sweet. Love it. That's not going anywhere. Well, there you have it, guys. We got the Milwaukee Packout bracket installed on the new Axis. You guys might have seen in the time lapse. What did I do there? Well, I've got rubber washer, I've got my puckboard spacer, 1/4 inch fender washer, then just a regular 1/4 inch washer and a nylock. This is all on a 1 inch carriage bolt. So I wanted the rubber washer so we don't scratch the tunnel. And then once I had the 1/4 inch spacer in there, I was worried about rubbing here on this electrical tunnel. So I don't know if you can see too well on the camera, but there's a slight gap under there now. That, I believe, is because of this fender washer. So I'm happy with the spacing, and it looks great on there. Yeah, so now we just got to figure out what we're going to pack in that sucker. But if you have any questions or comments about the bracket, how I mounted it, how I made my spacers, how I did the powder coating, anything, please just leave it in the comments below. Anyways, that's it for now, guys. So thanks for watching. Please like, share, and subscribe, and we'll see you in the next one.